Mosquito. This tiny, buzzing, blood-sucking killer kept Europeans out of tropical Africa for centuries. If you're wondering why Europeans waited until the 19th century to take over Africa, the answer is mosquito. Can you believe mosquito, not armies or treaties, was the ultimate gatekeeper that stopped European colonization in its tracks for centuries? The real reason Africa remained largely unconquered until the late 19th century wasn't the lack of European ambition, but a microscopic killer. Friends, put on your diving suits, because we're about to dive into the murky sea of history and uncover how Plasmodium falciparum, the parasite that causes malaria, and its equally nasty cousins, became the most effective defense force Africa ever had. You will learn why understanding this tiny organism is crucial even today. For centuries, European powers eyed Africa as a continent ripe for the taking. They had the ships, the guns, the ambition, but when they tried to push inland, they ran into a biological war. It wasn't the lions or the heat, it was the mosquito. Malaria, often called the fever of the country, was devastating. European soldiers and explorers had zero natural immunity. A single bite from an infected Anopheles mosquito could lead to chills, high fever, vomiting, and often death. Estimates suggest that for every ship of European traders or soldiers that arrived in West Africa in the 17th and 18th century, 1 in 4 men died of disease before even disembarking. The mortality rates were staggering. In some areas, up to 50% of European arrivals could succumb to malaria within their first year. Imagine trying to establish a foothold when your own troops are dropping like flies before they even see a battlefield. It made sustained occupation and large-scale settlements virtually impossible. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. While the Europeans were getting wiped out, indigenous African populations had developed a degree of genetic resistance over generations. It wasn't about who had better weapons, but who could survive the environment long enough to use them. This meant that local populations, while still suffering from malaria, were far less likely to die from it. So, when colonizers did manage to push inland, they often faced resistance, not just from local armies, but from a population that was largely resilient to the very disease decimating the invaders. Coastal West Africa became known grimly as the white man's grave. This wasn't just exaggeration, it was a brutal reality that forced European powers to focus on coastal trading posts rather than deep territorial control for a very, very long time. In 1850, European doctors learned how to treat malaria with quinine, and this little drug changed everything. Quinine, coupled with advancements in military technology, allowed for the scramble for Africa to really kick off. Quinine was a bitter drug obtained from the bark of the cinchona tree. By the way, the Europeans weren't the first people to use quinine to treat malaria. The Indians of Peru were using it to treat malaria for centuries before the Europeans. It's a wild thought, isn't it? A tiny insect and a microscopic parasite basically shaped the course of history and dictated the boundaries of early empires. Colonization ended many years ago, but sadly, Malaria didn't end with it. Malaria eradication was costly, so departing colonial powers either underfunded it or abandoned it totally. The disease still affects millions today, particularly in Africa. Understanding this history highlights why continued investment in public health and disease prevention is so critical. So, what historical invisible force do you think has had the biggest impact on the world? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this bosom history fascinating, hit that like button and subscribe for more captivating historical explainers. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.